Today on I Can Ask Armory, the Italian epee point design. Not the one we currently see, but the original version from several decades ago that is sadly no longer used, although it is still legal per the rules. So the Italian tip was the first epee tip that was done for electric fencing. Came out in 1936. It was a very interesting design. When set up correctly, it is very reliable. It's the setup that's the hard part because of certain rules changes and misconceptions about the point. Let's take a look at that right now. Here we go.
Okay, so here is the actual point. And the problem that comes up is with that screw in the front face of the tip, that is not an outside travel adjuster for the contact spring, which is illegal. That is simply a cover, which is allowed by the rules. Let's look at it more in depth now. Okay, so the rule we're talking about here regarding outside travel adjustment is M19, Section 4, subsection C, which reads, adjusting the lightning stroke by means of screws or any other external fixing device once the point has been assembled on the weapon is forbidden, meaning there cannot be a screw to change the travel on the front face, which this looks like, but it's not, because M19 Section 4 subsection D says an external screw or similar fixing device is only allowed if it is actually part of the assembling of the point, which this is. So let's go over the parts in this picture. We're going to ignore the barrel, the point at the very top left. You have the weight spring top right. Then you have the wire, which is above a little pin there for reference. To its right, you have a contact spring, not the contact, but a contact spring, a solid post. You have a large screw, which is the face of the tip in the previous picture. Two screws that hold the tip in the barrel, and then you have a small little washer just to the right and low of the weight spring. So here's how it works. If you notice the wire, it does not have two contacts like traditional German or French wire. It's got a contact ring that's soldered to one of the wires and a single contact post in the center. The weight spring is part of the circuit here, where it is not in the other designs. The little post to the right of that contact spring is the part that actually makes contact with that center nib, so the circuit's kind of half closed. There's nothing short across two contacts has in contact with the one in the center. The way this sits inside the tip, there is a little space where that post will stick out, the long end sticks out, and the hole is a little smaller than that little ring at the top of the post, and it sits there. The contact spring sits on top of that small nib, and then its other end is against the bottom side of the large screw that's the cover. Its only purpose is as a shock absorber when the touch is landed, and also if you hit the guard, it transfers the power to the guard so it grounds out. How you adjust the travel is with that small little washer. You would put it under that ring on the post, and you might put a few in there to just how far it sits out. So if you put more rings there, it will stick out less. You take more of the washers out, it will stick out more. That's how you adjust the travel. And once it's adjusted, it can't change, because you could screw that cover screw all the way in. All it's going to do is compress the contact spring, not going to change the travel. And that is why it's such a reliable point. Now, why do we see these today? Because a lot of referees see the cover screw, think it's an outside adjustment, and therefore don't allow it. Which is why if you look at a Skirma Sport or an Negrini Italian point, it has a brass dot in the center. That's a cover screw where they put everything together and then buffed up the slot, so you can't adjust it. Which means you just travel by filing the center contact post or the part that sticks out of the back end of the tip. And that's really difficult, and they made a tip is very easy to adjust, so difficult that even Matt Porter once said he does not like adjusting them. I've tried it once. It's a nightmare. If referees understood what the purpose of the cover was, they should let it go. It is in the rules. It's allowable. Good luck getting a rep to understand that. Sometimes they don't. It's easier for the manufacturers not worry about it, and it really made a very, very easy and reliable tip design very, very difficult to work with, to the point where I wouldn't even do them. I wouldn't even kind of attempt it. But that's what the Italian system for the points was. If they could resolve the screw cover issue so the refs would allow it, it'd be wonderful. Until that day, you gotta try and use the German or French tips if you want to make it easier on yourself and deal with the contact string moving. Happy armoring!